exactly is the true cost of buying a property? So my client and his wife had been searching for a house for a long while, and they eventually found the house they wanted in Lekki Phase 1, 150 million, very beautiful, and his wife loved the kitchen. The kitchen, you know, women, how one of our favorite places in the house is the kitchen. And so it has been a long search. I mean, if you've bought a house in Lagos, Nigeria, or even any other part of Nigeria, you know, buying a house is usually it can be tedious. But then I digress. So when my clients told me and said, "Oh, Mrs. Omotosho, I found this property, so I want you to handle everything concerning it," I told him and said, number one, first, sir, so this house is 150 million, but that is not the cost of owning this house. And I would explain now, when you buy a property, the cost of that property is not just the cost of the house or the cost of the land. So in this case, is not the 150 million. That is the cost of the house. There are a lot of other costs. Number one, the agency fees. So usually, if you're buying a house or you're buying a property, you would likely have involved the services of an agent who would have taken you around, have gone on inspections, shown you options, given you advice, and all that. So they broker the deal between you and the seller. All right. So the agency fee is another fee that you have to take notes, because I often see that many people don't know this entire budgeting thing. So they just think it's just the cost of the house. So that's number one. Number two, inspection fees. So if you have to go for inspection, I know that there's some cost involved in that. So you also want to know that, note that. Now, number three, after you've seen a house that you like, you want to buy, or a land that you like and you want to buy, you are going to do due diligence on that property. I've got a video that will leave the link in the description box that talks more about due diligence. So you have to pay for that service. So it's usually carried out by your lawyer. In some cases, also a surveyor is involved, and so it's a fee that you also have to pay. Now, after the due diligence has been conducted and everything checks out, you then go ahead to buy the property. Now, when you are buying a property, buying a house specifically, you would need to have the proper documentation transferring ownership to you. You see, you cannot orally own a property. So I can't say that my client has bought a property and he just paid and that makes him the owner. Definitely not. That would be a very expensive joke to do. Expensive, naive, stupid. I don't want to use that last word, but that is kind of the right word that fits. But I know that doesn't apply to anyone watching this video. So it's not orally. You don't buy property orally. It's through proper documentation. Yeah, so what are the documents that you actually get when you buy a property? So a contract of sale, a deed of assignment from your lawyer, and a survey plan. I know that oftentimes people who buy real estate don't do a survey plan, but you need to do a survey plan in your own name as a new owner. So these are the documents. This is what it looks like. So these are documents of some properties, but let me just leave that. But we get the idea. So the cost of documentation is part of the cost that you would pay. If you're buying a house, oftentimes you would have to spend some money. You're not going to get a house that is 100% what you want. So you also want to add, um, have a portion, a small portion of your budget to bring do some few things around the house. So basically, you see that the cost of owning a house that goes for 150 million naira is not worth 50 million. It is 150 million plus the agency fees, inspection fees, due diligence fees, the survey plan, and documentation. So the documentation is done by a property lawyer, and the survey plan is done by a surveyor. If you are buying a house, a land, and you are building, there might also be other factors involved. Of course, the cost of building the house. If you're buying a land for land banking purposes, the cost of securing the land. Right, I've got a video on land banking that I will leave the link in the description box below. So I hope this is helpful. And if you want to buy a house before the end of this year, and you don't want to fall into the wrong hands, you want to know how to go about the transaction the right way, then you should click the link in the description box below to book a free 20-minute consultation session with me. I'm offering just a few slots for this time. So make sure to book a session, and then you can get to ask me the questions, what you would like to know about buying a house, and the specific step-by-step guide to help you. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.